Hey there, Horne-Ellstrom here. I didn't title this video on purpose because I want to talk about, I just kind of want to brainstorm what I stand for and what I stand against. I guess I didn't title it because I didn't want to create too much controversy as I am identifying and sharing and deciding what's important to share and what's important not to. Because we all stand for things and we all stand against things that some of them, they just don't matter. They don't matter with respect to our businesses and what we're creating online. They might matter to us personally in our personal lives and our personal brands, but they don't. And if we're creating a personal brand, then they matter and we want to share those. But some stuff you just don't need to share. I mean, that's just my opinion, of course, but there's certain things about your personal relationships or your, say, sexual orientation, for example. I don't think that's any of anybody else's business. And maybe that's something I stand for is everybody has the right to be who they are, and your sexual orientation has nothing to do with your ability to be an awesome business person or an awesome business owner or to supersize your business. I feel the same way about politics and religion. Your politics and your religion, in my opinion, should not be part of your brand. Unless, of course, you're using it to create polarity and you want to wipe out half of the population. Go ahead, spew your politics, spew them in a negative emotional way, and you're bound to alienate a lot of people. I learned early on running my own businesses that there were a couple of topics that you just all agreed to not discuss because they always ended up in heated emotional debates that had nothing to do with what we were doing for a living and usually negatively impacted productivity and what we were trying to do for a living. And they ended up causing deep-seated hurt feelings. And a lot of times the things that people were arguing about weren't even beliefs that they had created consciously on their own. And politics and religion seem to be very buried in those types of beliefs where we believe things because they're generational. We believe things because of our past experiences, of course, but we get a strong emotional attachment to those beliefs, even if it isn't rational and even if it isn't consistent with the other things that we're doing in our other beliefs. So I like to avoid those two topics personally and professionally. I think they cause drama and, again, hurt feelings, and that just, it's not necessary. So let's maybe pop into my list of what I stand against, because I like talking about what I stand against, because that makes it really clear what I stand for. I'm going to need my magnifying glass, of course, and some sips of coffee. I stand against cloggy throats. I seem to have a cloggy throat some days. It's mornings, usually the mornings mostly. Once I get talking, boom, no cloggy throat anymore. So what are some of the things I stand against? I think I said politics and religion. I pretty clearly, and here's why. I don't stand against either of those things. I think politics and religion are very important. But I stand against me spewing my opinion because it only is my opinion and my beliefs, and expecting other people to be swayed by that or influenced by my thoughts and my feelings and my beliefs. They get to believe what I get to believe, but they get to believe what they want to believe, and I get to believe what I want to believe. And there's no reason to try to convince people to change their religious or their political beliefs. They've got them for whatever reason, and they're entitled to them. They get to have their opinion, just like I get to have my opinion. So I stand against people trying to manipulate or coerce or bully other people into thinking and believing and feeling the same way they do. It's not possible. We all feel the way we feel, and we're all entitled to feel the way we feel. So politics, religion, I pretty much keep them off the table. And part of it is because I don't have super strong feelings in those areas anymore, because I think everybody's entitled to their own. Everybody gets their own opinion. I stand against lazy, no action takers, excuse makers, blamers, judgmental, doubt, worry, fear, any negative emotions. I like to stand against those negative emotions. Now, do I experience those negative emotions? Absolutely. I'm a human being, so I experience the whole spectrum of emotions. But I like to not live in doubt, worry, fear, jealousy, anxiety, depression, mistrust. I don't want to live there. I might visit them for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, maybe even a couple of hours, but I'm not going to stay there. I am against rules. Now, I'm not against all rules. I'm against rules that are ridiculous and don't make sense, and that somebody made up in the first place to control us or to control a situation. Now, I believe in traffic laws. I believe in government. I believe in certain things, but I don't believe that, I'm going to put it right out there. I don't think that, and I don't believe, and this is probably, it shouldn't be a political opinion in my book, but it is obviously a political issue, the whole topic of abortion. I would never get an abortion. I don't believe in abortion for me, but I also don't believe that it's the kind of thing that should be regulated by men and by politicians. It's got nothing to do with them. I also don't think that the government or politicians should pay for abortions. But again, that's a political topic, a religious topic. It hits all the spectrum of things that it just doesn't matter and I don't want to talk about. It's a rule or a belief or a policy or a moray or a paradigm. Any way you wrap that up, it's none of my business. It's not my body. It's not my situation. I don't know the detail. It's none of my business to make a decision for another person what they're going to do with their body. As long as it doesn't now, and then this gets into the realm of, well, it does negatively impact another person or being, and I'm not going to go there. That would be one of the ones I just stay away from. But again, everybody gets their own opinion. And it's not my job to change your mind or anyone else's on what you want to believe about that. But as far as rules and things go, if they're just made to control other people, or if they're made out of greed or jealousy or any of these other negative emotions, or if they're just to support stockholders, for example, when I was young and in my corporate career, I worked for really big corporations and I bought into their culture and their beliefs. And I sold those beliefs to a lot of people. And now I look back and I think, oh my God, that was such bullshit that we were spewing as a management group to get people to do what we wanted them to do, in terms of employees and shareholders and stakeholders. And I just laugh and think, oh my God, all of those decisions were based on increasing shareholders' equity, not doing the best thing for the customer, increasing money and greed for the corporation, not doing the best thing for the customer. And so I've gone from a very business and corporate centric focus to a, hey, what's in the best interest of the customer? If this product or service isn't right for them, don't even offer it to them. I mean, it's not right for them. If it's out of their price range, if I'm selling a $10,000 coaching program and I know that the person I'm talking to is barely being able to put food on their table, I am not going to offer that coaching program to that person. I will offer them some strategies and advice and things that they can do right now to change that situation. But I am not going to ever offer them something that I know, yes, do I know with 100% certainty could help them and change their life? Yeah, but it would ruin their life in the process of trying to afford that. And I would never do that. I would never put a person in that position. So if you're making, if an organization, not you, if an organization is making decisions out of greed and things, I don't stand for their rules. I think of all the times I've spent on customer service with different service providers, generally utilities, cell phones, for example. Their lack of customer service and lack of being in the best interest of the customer is just mind-boggling. And if we didn't need those services, I mean, if I didn't need electricity and cell phone service and internet service in my home and in my life, because it makes our life so much easier, I wouldn't use them because I don't believe in their the way they do business. What else do I stand against? So obviously I'm kind of a rule stretcher. I believe in making our own rules. We need to set our life and our rules up for our own success, not for a business's success. Unless, of course, it's our own business. Then we do create the rules to set it up for our business to succeed. I don't like liars, cheaters, unfaithful people, disloyal people, dishonest, manipulative, bullying people. Have I had experiences with these type of people in the past? Absolutely. I no longer really attract them into my life very often. Once in a while, I'll get the occasional hater, but usually what I stand for and what I stand against and who I am and showing up in my pajamas pushes them right out of my life. I don't like arrogant assholes and control freaks. Again, been involved with a lot of them in my life. Manipulators. People will say that marketers are manipulators. I think good marketers are people that know how to present their message so the people that are destined to hear that and need to hear that message hear it. That's not manipulation. If you're manipulating, you're on my I stand against list. I don't like negative downer people or people with negative energy or what I call energy vampires, people that just suck the life out of you. And there are a lot of professions that people get into that suck the life out of you. I was involved in one of those businesses prior to my sudden cardiac arrest where I had to deal with people that were, oh my gosh, so broken and so negative and so mean. And I know they were just doing a job, but the way they were trained to do that job was so hateful and so evil that it just sucked the life out of me. Quitters. I put quitters and people that make excuses are on my list of what I stand against. The only way you can ever fail in life is if you quit. If you say you want something and you want something and you're going for it, the only way to fail and not get it eventually is if you quit trying and quit looking for ways to make it happen. So those are some of the things I stand against. I think I've covered them. Most of them are like negative emotions or downers or unethical, dishonest, mean, unkind people. And situations or businesses that put people in those situations to behave in those ways and make it seem like it's okay. It's why I'm a country gal and not a city gal. I don't want to be around a whole lot of negative elements. And it seems like in certain places, and it's not all cities, but certain areas attract a more negative element or a more crime-laden element. And I just don't want to be around any of that drama or anything. So what do I stand for? What on earth does the Pajama Grandma stand for? And why the heck am I the Pajama Grandma? Well, I am the Pajama Grandma because I stand for being able to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want. And I added the wearing whatever I want probably early this year. I think that inklings of the idea started to pop into my life late last year and middle of last year when I had some health challenges. And I realized that in order to continue to function, I had to be comfortable. And being comfortable meant being able to work in whatever I want. And frankly, my silky robes and my pajamas and my long underwear today, because it's getting colder, I'm comfortable in them. And I also found that it's a very good sifting and sorting tool. It sorts out all those people I don't want to work with, all those people I don't stand for, because they're not open-minded enough, and I stand for open-minded people, or flexible or creative enough to understand, well, why would somebody want to be in their pajamas? Why? And it's the same thing as saying that I want to live the laptop life and work in my underwear. Frankly, nobody wants to see the Pajama Grandma in her underwear, right? But robes and pajamas are, I think, a little more socially acceptable. So that's part of why I'm the Pajama Grandma. And there's a lot more to that story. I'm going to share it on an upcoming podcast that a gentleman I know is doing. And I'm going to share the down and dirty details of all of that. But today's not the day. We're talking about what I stand for. So what do I stand for? I stand for people that want to make a difference in their lives and in the lives of other people, whether it's just their family or other people that they know somehow deep down in their gut that they're here to influence and impact and make a difference in this world. And the secret is we're all here to make a difference in this world. We're all here to at least experience our life, this life experience, as only we uniquely can. Nobody can actually step into our shoes or into our skin and experience our life as we can. Only we can. And that is our primary objective and primary job of being here, is to experience life as only we uniquely can, because that contributes to and helps expand all that is, the universe or whatever you believe in. I stand for you being you. I stand for you creating whatever it is that you want in this lifetime. I stand for you experiencing exactly what it is that you want to experience and how you're going to impact your life, other people's lives, and the world by being and living those experiences. I stand for you making the world a better place. So many of us want to make the world a better place, but we're pounded down and beat down and bullied and confined into these beliefs and little boxes that make us feel like we're really not here to make a difference. What we say and do doesn't matter. I mean, government and big businesses and so many controls are put in place to make us feel like we don't matter, like we're this big, and that no matter what we do, no matter what we try, it's not going to make a difference. How many people have you heard say that they don't go vote because their vote doesn't matter? That one's crazy. It's not crazy. I think you should vote. And that's, again, a political opinion. I think you should make your voice known in whatever way you possibly can. And if it's just voting for you, at least go vote. Exercise your right and privilege to vote. Boy, I guess that's a political opinion after all. I didn't say how you should vote or who you should believe in. I said you should go exercise your right to go vote. I believe in helping you to impact those human beings that you're here to impact. And that, again, is how you make this world a better place. All of us are here to influence and impact, and maybe it's encouraging, maybe it's discouraging, but we have some kind of effect on other human beings or animals or plants or nature, whatever it is that you choose and are interested in. I am here to help you do that. I believe and stand for you doing whatever it is that you're here to do. I guess all of the things that I stand for positive energy, happy people. I stand for creating rules and systems and procedures and processes that set you up for success for your life, not only your life, but your businesses as well. I stand for any way, shape, or form that you are making yourself and therefore the world a better place. So continuous improvement, lifelong learning, and any way I can help and support you in those things. I stand for people that are action takers and that are moving their life in the direction they want it to go, or are at least learning and trying and striving to do that. Do we all have failures? Do we all have problems? Do we all have challenges? Absolutely. But it's how we face those challenges, how we take the next step, how we know what to do, and that we're always going to know what the next step is if we believe that we can. I stand for people that are willing to stand up and take that next step. I stand for people that are kind and happiness and showing other people how to do and kindness and be happy themselves, because that is the best way that we can make the world a better place, is by modeling the behavior and living it and experiencing it, but then letting other people see that is an awesome way to live, and that if I can do it, you can do it too. If you can do it, someone else can do it, the people that you're here to impact. So kindness, happiness, love, empowerment, curiosity, wisdom, intelligence, all of the positive emotions that exist. I stand for anybody that supports those and expands those and exhibits those behaviors to other people on the planet. So that is just a little bit of my brainstormed lists of what I stand against and what I stand for. What do you stand for? What do you stand against? I think so many times we're like molded into this average, mediocre existence where we're just getting through the days, and we feel like it's not okay to believe in certain things or to stand for certain things. I think that's why there's so much crime that people witness and they just watch it happen. They just watch crime and violence because they don't feel like they should get involved and can make a difference. It's crazy. You can make a difference in that one person's life. It's like the starfish story. I can't remember where I read this or who I heard this from, and I should, because it's a really famous story. But somebody comes upon a little boy throwing starfish. It's high tide or low tide, and he sees all these starfish on this beach, this little boy, and he's throwing the starfish back in the ocean. And an old man walks up to him and says, "Well, what are you doing, kid? Why are you throwing these starfish in the ocean? You're not going to make a difference. Look at all these starfish laying on the beach. They're just going to die." And he's like, picks one up, throws it in the ocean, and says, "Well, it made a difference to that one." The same is true of you and your life. You never know who you're going to impact by sharing your love and whatever else it is you have to offer to other people. And so I stand for you being you and sharing you with the rest of the world. That is it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. I will, of course, see you tomorrow. Sorry about the cursing. Only a little sorry. Sorry, not sorry about the cursing. But there's certain things I feel really strongly about. I cannot stand people that bully our control freaks or assholes to other people. I cannot stand super arrogant people or people that think that they're entitled to be treated a certain way because they think that they're better than other people. Ooh, that's a big one. People that think they're better than other people. Hate that. Drives me crazy. So I guess there's more things I have to explore about what I stand for and what I stand against. But share in the comments below, what do you stand for? What's one thing that you stand for that might not be popular, that you know that other people don't stand for? And I have to think about those things, but as I've gotten older and had certain experiences, primarily the sudden cardiac experience, I am so much more open and flexible in just letting other people be themselves and just believing that I get to be myself, that I stand for and against less things than I used to because I'm not judging them. I'm not judging things that I used to judge on a daily basis. And that makes my life a lot less dramatic and a lot more fun, and me a lot happier, comfortable pajama grandma. So what makes you happier and comfortable? Share in the comments below, because this pajama grandma seriously wants to know what my friends and family stand for. Bye. Have an awesome day. I will, of course, see you tomorrow with day 254 of What's She Up To Now.